one way things flow. Cause every time I lift my head above water and try to save myself from drown, there's an overnight scheme all worked out, designed to keep me down. Still I'm putting up a resistance. I've got to work it out. No, I'm putting up a resistance. I'm gonna work it out. Whoa, putting up a resistance. I'm gonna work it out now. Putting up a resistance now. I'm gonna work it out. Wanna stay home tonight. Like to spend some time with my family. Staying home won't make it right. Sometimes the pressure make me feel like harder when every sign says no way out. Breaking my back to make a no on that dollar that goes from hand to mouth. Still I'm putting up a resistance. I'm gonna work it out. You know I'm putting up a resistance. I'm gonna work it out. I'm putting up a resistance. I'm gonna work it out. You know I'm putting up a resistance. Got to work it out. You know I'm putting up resistance. Putting up some fight. Got to fight. Putting up resistance. I'm gonna work it out right now.
And good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. You're listening to the program You and I on PSA, and it's exclusively on the Street 91.9 FM, and it's hosted by the Public Services Association. I am Christopher Joe Field, First Vice President, and we are here Monday to Friday from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. And of course, the man behind the console is Comrade Bruce Wayne and our Antonio, the director, and the trusted and reliable Mr. Second Vice President Ian Murray. Good morning.
Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. I want to say a special good morning to all our hard-working public officers out there, all our general council reps, our staff side, JCC staff side reps. Good morning to the executive of the PSA, the national executive that is, and a special good morning to our president, Mr. Watson Duke. The program is an interactive one. We invite you to call in at any time during the course of the program. The number is 622-9154, 622-3303, 631-0219, and 639-0791. We also want to let you know that you can contact us as well at our official Facebook page, PSA Trinbago, or email us at psa.tnt@gmail.com.
And comrades, we want to always keep in focus the purpose for our experience here, and that is to highlight what appears to be a conspiracy to dismantle the public service by making dysfunctional or even impotent all the institutions that go into having an effective and an efficient working public service existing in Trinidad and Tobago. And that is being achieved by having the Service Commission not perform its function fully and effectively, by having the CPO not perform its functions under the Act, by keeping under review the classification and compensation plans of all jobs in the public service in the interest of a changing, or dare I say, an evolving Trinidad and Tobago, by keeping the statutory authorities, by having the ombudsman, and by ensuring that the comptroller of accounts do their jobs in a manner that will ensure there is a smooth and an efficient public service running all to the benefit of Trinidad and Tobago citizens.
Over the years, there have been this constant attack on public officers to create a perception in the minds of the citizenry that the civil servants, the actual workers, the staff that provide these services, some of them essential to the citizenry, are looked at in some cases the worst light,
in a very
as being
negative
lazy
light,
and incompetent and so on. But we are here to correct that perception and point out all the ills, right, in the system that is being left and unattended to create, right, this mischief.
Exactly.
In the minds of the citizenry.
Because permanent secretaries have now been given full rein to hire and discipline for specific departments in the public service, a function that was purely and fully that of the Service Commission. And they're saying it is going to be something like a pilot project. But that is how they started off when they devolved the functions under that of the Service Commission, when they devolved it to the Permanent Secretary a number of years ago. And they gave the commitment that there will be a human resource monitoring unit to ensure that it keeps in alignment. Good morning. We have lost them. All right, that it keeps in alignment with the standards that the Service Commission is expected to be guided by. And that never got off the ground. Good morning. Keep it constructive.
Hello, good morning. I will ask Mr. to go on the Lady Young Road when 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, I'll be going for my grandchild and see the kind of cars coming up the Lady Young Road. You understand? And if you are people do that, you know they're ready to square them away.
Right.
Yes.
But a lot of people who are in trouble in the country now seems to want to call on the president to treat with it.
That appears to be the only way you can get people to take stock of their responsibility and provide service to the citizenry. We shouldn't have to be behaving out of character in order to get things that we are entitled to as law-abiding, tax-paying citizens. We shouldn't have to. And our leaders ought not to have to descend to that level in order to protect the interest of the citizens. But that is what we have to do, and that is what will be done if it is all in the interest of an improved Trinidad and Tobago.
Somebody has to call our leaders to account. It can't be that we exchange them, not change, we exchange them every 5 years.
Exactly.
And the services that the country is supposed to provide to the citizenry just keep going down and down and down. And some people's pockets keep going up and up and up.
Fuller and fuller. And we have to accept that this conspiracy to dismantle the public service is not one that we are going to stand idly by and watch take place. We intend to put up a resistance. We have to put up a resistance. Because when the Service Commission could come and allow the Minister of Public Administration to say that we are going to allow the functions of hiring and discipline in specific ministries and departments in order to deal with the issue of vacancies. And he's going to deal with it according to how the permanent secretary wishes to handle it. That is a dereliction of duty on the part of the Service Commission. Then why are they there?
And say it right, the Public Service Commission. Because I don't know why that same concept not being applied to the Judicial and Legal Services Commission. Because that is a commission as well that's supposed to be independent. Why they're not farming out their
responsibilities,
their constitutional responsibilities to permanent secretaries and probably the administrator of the court and them kind of thing.
It's not worms sitting in those chairs up there, you know. They might be behaving like worms, mindless worms. But it is part of a conspiracy, because to dismantle the public service is to open the door for confusion and corruption, is to open the door for a disregard of the bureaucratic systems that ensure transparency and good governance at the expense of the safety and the welfare of the citizens of this country.
Comrade, and this morning I get a whole set of pictures of some drugs that come into the country, right? Chinese drugs, right? And I find it in
your mailbox.
My proverbial mailbox.
Yes.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And the question being asked is, this Chinese medication, right? All the labels is in complete Chinese. All the instructions is Chinese, right? And nothing in English. We know that is illegal. That shouldn't even be in this country, right? But it's here. It's on the shelves. And if people take these drugs and anything happen to them, right?
What recourse do they have?
How the doctors, apart from that, how the doctors gonna know what they take?
Precisely.
Right? To be able to treat them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And we have a Bureau of Standards sitting down in Macoya, and the inspectors there are allowed to remain invisible, so that the labeling standard, the standard for labeling in this country, is a compulsory standard. And what that means is that it must be complied with all businesses who have to sell products in this country, goods and services. And there is no policing of those products that do not comply with the compulsory labeling standard.
And we also have the Chemistry, Food and Drug Division, which has been closed since the 8th of March 2014, right? Who also supposed to check those things as well. So we have more than one agencies.
Precisely.
Right?
What is the Minister of Health? Wrong, not he. What is the Permanent Secretary doing to ensure that these agencies comply with their duties under the law?
Bureau of Standards, although it is a state agency, it has a line ministry.
It falls under the Ministry of Trade.
Right? And Chemistry, Food and Drugs
falls under the Ministry of Health.
Is a division of the Ministry of Health.
So when these agencies are not allowed to function, that is where you are going to get things like cabbage that looks like cabbage but is really properly packed plastic.
And there's another video that's circulating, and this one the person don't care. They don't care if the face show, because they really disgusted. They're cussing in the video.
But the lady
because they
said
buy
she
this thing
bought
in
it.
Prince's Tongue. Again, remember last program we was talking about they sending these things in the rural areas.
Exactly.
You understand?
They're not selling it down the road down there.
They're
No?
not selling it in Westmoreland. I'm sure about that.
They're not selling it down the road down there. what is happening in this country. How can we have people who are appointed by our finger allowing these things to take place? How can we get these individuals to ensure that the interest and the rights of the citizens in this country is protected?
No, but no. Let's take the Chemistry, Food and Drug Division. Even the Bureau of Standards, they are guided by legislation, right?
They are.
You have a certain amount, a cadre of public officers whose authority is within legislation to police these laws, right? And the commission, these people retire and go in, and the commission, who's supposed to be filling these vacancies, not filling them at all, to the point, let's say inspectors. You have a country with over 10,000 pharmacies,
and over 50,000 groceries.
When the public service was designed in 1965, right? The country probably had about 5 or 6 pharmacies.
Yes.
And probably the same amount of groceries. And they had a cadre of inspectors to treat with that, right? Here we are in 2017, and the org structure hasn't changed at all.
And that is a dereliction of duty on the part of the CPO.
And this is what we're speaking about. So you have the same amount of officers who used to see about 10 pharmacies and 10 groceries back in 1965, still trying to do the work in 2017. Now we had 10,000 pharmacies and probably the same amount of groceries. But not only that, you have less because you're not filling the vacancies.
You have less, comrade. You have less. And then the Minister of Public Administration colludes with, or I dare to say the other way around, the Service Commission colludes with the Minister of Public Administration to give the power of hiring to the Permanent Secretary, who will now decide that I will bring in this one, I will bring in that one, and I will bring in the other one on contract to deal with the issue of the large problem of vacancies in the public service. What these people doing up inside of there? What are they doing? Why is it that they can't move with alacrity and get the vacancies filled out and get the structure and the classification done so that the public service, this bureaucracy that is aimed at protecting the citizens of this country through good governance, transparency and accountability, working? What are they doing?
It's not easy, Comrade Joe. It's not easy at all.
622-9154, 622-3303, 631-0219, 639-0791. You are welcome to call. Good morning.
No,
I think we lost that one.
Yeah. Comrade, I also got a call yesterday. Remember we was dealing with the homes, right?
Where a child...
That's in, yeah, well, you would have pointed out that just day before yesterday also, a child in St. Dominic's, one of the children.
Yeah, with a mental problem. Attempted to hang himself with a belt.
Wow. Now we know we had a similar incident with a mentally challenged child at the home in Tagarigo there, who would have picked up a bottle and bust the face of one of the juvenile home supervisors. Now I am understanding that while the OSH is doing a report right now, because some of the workers there have exercised their right to refuse to work
because
in
of the
accordance
safety
with the act, and the the OSH inspector came in, had a conversation with both the workers and management, and he's in the process of doing his report, right? But before his report could be completed, I am hearing that the sister of that same child that damaged the
Home supervisor.
Has now damaged a welfare officer now
My
by
goodness.
scratching up the woman's face completely, right? And she's now home on sick leave as well, and nothing is being done by the management at our home.
Nothing is being done.
As a matter, and I tell you, government needs to send an auditor inside there to find out what is going on. Because the vacancies are not being filled. I understand it have about 22 vacant positions inside of there, right? And we're talking about the span of control, right? The level of supervisory control these people have over all these children that they have to see,
yes.
right? The less staff you have, you understand, the more risk you are of these incidents happening behind your back, or you less control you have over the situation. And I don't know the management.
It's a management problem in the public service, you know.
And we hearing that now it's government subvention for all these positions that exist there. We hearing that it have contractors in there receiving over $80,000 a month and turning around, right? And hiring an individual,
relatives, brother.
a relative,
relative,
right? For at least, I understand it's $10,000 a month just to teach some sort of therapeutic art once a week on a Saturday.
$10,000 a month.
It have 4 Saturdays in a month. So his session is about $2,500 a session, right? The government paying for that, you know?
And they are saying they don't have money. They don't have money to buy water for civil servants to use. In any case, they shouldn't be buying water, frankly, because we have an effective potable water system in this country, at least.
Well, I used to drink it when I was at school. I open it up and drink it.
Exactly, right? But to feed those businesses,
we have a caller.
We have water selling.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
How come we have this proliferation of Chinese drugs on the shelves of our supermarkets and pharmacies, when we have institutions within the public service that are supposed to be monitoring these drugs? How come they just bringing these things in and selling them? What is the problem? What's causing it, or why are we not monitoring these things?
The problem. Thank you, but the problem is the Chemistry, Food and Drugs Division non-functional since the 8th of March 2014, and about I keep saying it, and every time I come here, the time extended. It's almost 2 years now since it would have only take $3 million to outfit
the laboratories,
to have all 7 of our government laboratories up and running. You understand? And have these technicians,
tests, yes,
right, and all the various tests, right? The food chemistry laboratory, the microbiology, the drug laboratory, the industrial laboratory, the excise laboratory, the environment laboratory, and the toxicology laboratory.
Because, comrade,
all 7 of them up and running, and all have very, 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 very
sensitive and critical roles to perform in protecting the interest of Trinidad and Tobago citizens.
You have
the toxicology is
plastic rice, with plastic cabbage, plastic eggs, What is really going on?
Now people have to be so careful as to what they buy when they go to the grocery.
Worms and tuna, corned beef.
You have tins of milk that is expired and on these shelves, and there is no policing by these government agencies. None
at all. Look at the instance the other day with the rice. Because the person in the video called the name of the brand, and show the brand on the video. And that person, that the owner of that brand now, sent quite Canada to test his rice. He take his own sample and send it Canada to test. And we must believe that the test is correct.
We have a caller.
Good morning, caller.
Good morning. As a public servant and a citizen of Trinidad and Tobago, I am saddened. I am really, really saddened and concerned as to what leadership. And when I speak about leadership, I speak about leadership across the board. What is the opposition doing about it? What is the government doing about all of these things that's going on? I am disheartened and disappointed.
Thank you, sister.
Yes, because if these people on both sides of the divide had the interest of the public at heart, they will ensure that they keep the policymakers on their toes, and they would clamor for higher standards in terms of the importation and the production and even the distribution and sale of goods to the citizens. Good morning.
Good morning, caller.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning. Please lower your
Are
volume.
you hearing me?
Yeah, just please lower your volume a bit.
Okay.
Yes, good morning.
Morning. I saw on Beyond the Tape yesterday, that TV show on evenings with the police, that they seized some alcohol at the one of the malls downtown. Now, I know that when that takes place, there's a certain procedure that has to happen before when they go to court. Now, if that procedure can't take place, two things will happen. They'll have to let go all of them. There will be no case. The case can't stand up. And the next thing is, as far as I see, I drinks for the boys.
That is, and that will fall directly in the excise laboratory, where analysis of illicit and contraband alcohol products for matters pertaining to court proceedings
is a responsibility.
That is a responsibility of the Chemistry, Food and Drug Division. The caller is making a very serious point.
You're still there?
No.
Right. Sorry if we cut you off. But that is the degree of vigilance and responsible governance that's supposed to take place once you have an effective public service operating in your country.
That same laboratory also supposed to do an analysis on alcohol beverages for collection of excise duties by the Customs and Excise Department, and it provides analytical services to local wine producers as well. Remember the lady who wanted to sell her local wine?
I cannot understand how is it that the minister, not the minister, I keep
nobody
saying the
minister keep walking around the place and telling people that we can't continue to support this health system because people not living healthy lives, right? He putting the blame on the citizenry now for being unhealthy, right? We live in unhealthy lives, right? And putting a strain on the health system, and that the government can't bear no more. But the things,
they are allowing
the institutions that are in place that's supposed to make sure that the food and drugs that the citizenry taking, it closed for 3 years. And you all over the place gallivanting, telling we that we live in unhealthy lives.
But comrade, you know what is also sinful about all of this is the behavior of the business class. Because if they can sacrifice the health of the citizens just to have a healthy bottom line in terms of their profit margins, it can tell you that they don't care two hoots about how they fatten their pockets.
But brother, them and their family don't have to go to the RHAs for health care, you know. They don't have to go there.
And yet,
it's public officers like you and I have to go there. You understand?
All they care about is ensuring that they sell the goods and they bring it in to this country, and it's artificial rice, is expired tuna, is
anything Chinese
corn
drugs,
beef
that is Spanish and Chinese and Japanese and all kind of, you ain't even know where you're buying. They only say this good for you and get it
and give you it for you to use. And nobody is actually testing the samples to ensure the safety of the citizens. But yet they're legalizing it on the market.
Imagine the 1965 structure in our Food and Drugs Division is 14 inspectors for the entire country since 1965, right? But we know it have plenty more, as we were saying, pharmacies and food outlets all over the place. The population of the country has grown exponentially. We're talking about 1.3.
And they only have 8 inspectors
working now. No, it only have 6 now.
Oh,
6.
my word.
Not 8, 6 alone working now, right? To go around and check the food and drugs, alcohol, and everything that the citizenry exposed to on a daily basis of all these business people who importing goods into this country. You think that right?
But they're not even allowing them to go out.
Check the local goods too, you know. All these red mango and things where people making and local wine and all that had a check too, you know.
I wonder how is it that the Service Commission can sit down quietly and see the underpopulation of the various ministries, departments, and divisions that have such a critical role in ensuring the safety of the citizens, and not have those vacancies filled, and allowing this joke to be perpetrated on the citizens by hiring people on contract. Good morning.
Good morning, Kola.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. I listened to the program. But what I witnessed in a Chinese place, the health inspector will come in with about 10 food bags, go behind the counter, and he have all these bags to give out, and these people do not go in the health place to get the bags. And it's Indian people doing it, Indian inspectors.
No.
Yeah, I see it with my eyes.
All right. But, okay, thank you very much,
And then I have to go for food bags. I have to line up, go and take, give out these, good thing to come and see how to serve and thing for the public. But you never see a Chinese man there, no woman.
Okay. Thank you very much, Kola. And you see things like that, when things like that happen to you, right, you must go and report it immediately to the authorities. You understand? That is what needs to be happening, because we not for 1 minute here
going to condone
or defend public officers out there who doing the wrong thing, but we sure that it have rules, regulations, and laws in place to treat with officers like that.
Of course.
But the citizenry also have a responsibility to report these matters.
Yeah, exactly.
You understand? Because we want them kind of people that you're talking about there, we want them weed out the service too.
Out of the service.
But what happening is that good people going home and they're not being replaced, and some of these bad eggs remaining in the bunch because management not treating with it. Some of them, they know the delinquents and them, but they wouldn't follow the proper procedure.
Corruption is
and
the
they
word.
continue to remain in the service. But
corruption
any
is
organization you have will have those type of people in it. Thank God they're in the minority. Good morning, caller.
Yes, I'm calling back. Reported to who? Who you reporting it to? The police?
Of course, they could report it to the police.
Really? And they get in a cut too?
Oh, Lord.
I know everything, you know. I know plenty things. And what Mr. Duke doing is a wrong thing. Coming to block what the government doing. And not for no PNM or UNC, you know. I like to see the truth. And the truth shall set you free. Now we're talking about the people with the children would catch up the lady and the next bus, the next lady. If I have to go there, I am not going there because I like my face. I don't want nobody mash up my face. So people afraid to go and do this work. It's not that the vacancy are there, but nobody wants to go on that work. So we're talking the truth now. Talk the truth.
All right. Okay, good. And I think what we need to recognize here is, in order for Trinidad and Tobago to improve, there appears to be a demand for a certain type of behavior, which is called uncharacteristic, because all of us are supposed to be civilized people.
But I will tell you something about that behavior. That wasn't the behavior that get us half the rights that we have now.
Thank you. In fact, if we took that passive, humble,
by all of we would have been still in chains.
In
today,
chains.
right? But we ain't saying to go back to that. But sometimes you need somebody to shake up the place a little bit, man, because people just sitting down and taking this rubbish now.
Complacency.
And it's like,
comrade,
they accept it as normal now. They accepting rubbish as being normal.
You know some of the
The
sins.
standards gone through, you know.
The sins they're perpetrating on the citizens. Look, I went to the bank yesterday.
Oh, Lord.
And I get this check. I go on to that bank on Park Street, Republic Bank. Not Republic, sorry, not Republic. Royal Bank. And I have a check. And the Royal Bank telling me that because I do not have an account with them, they could only give me some of the money because of the amount of money that I was going to cash on the check, or I have to take it and carry it to my bank so that I
could
wait 7 days before I get my money and the check is not crossed. How is it that citizens could stand up and take that? How is it that you could tell me that every time I come to the bank to cash a check, I have to pay you $15 for cashing that check because I don't have an account in that bank? And
the check is belonging to the bank,
Yes, because the person or the organization that would have given you the check or given me the check has their money in the bank, in that bank. And instead of that organization having all that money in the drawer, they say, we don't have all that money in the drawer. Go to my bank, give them this check, give them this letter, and they will give you this amount of money.
But what do you expect, Comrade Joe? What do you expect, right? Because if the government service could give you such poor service, right? And we accept it. Why not private enterprise do the same and then charge you for it too?
They're digging out people eye in this country.
And the lines all outside the door, you know. To see a teller.
Yes.
10 or 12 teller boot in the bank, but they only have 3 tellers serving you. And you know, the sisters we sitting down and taking that, and we still carrying money there to bank.
And the point is, and I really want to
mash up the credit union.
Yes.
And them, you know.
And I want to go back to where the caller said why we behaving out of character. Why is it that the bank could charge you $15 on a check? If you get a check for $25 and you go to the bank and you don't have an account in that bank is telling you that we're taking $15 on that check, so you only leave in that place with $5.
10.
With $10, sorry. And we so steeped in this slavish state of mind that we wouldn't even challenge it.
Mediocrity is the norm now, and we accepting it.
We so steeped in this slavishness that they will tell you that if you do not have an account in this bank and you come with a check and a company gives you a check for you to go to their bank to cash it right away, the company didn't cross the check, you know, to say, well, you have to go and put it in your account, you know. They give you an open check signed and they say, go to my bank on Park Street, Royal Bank on Park Street opposite FCB. And they will tell you, sir, because you don't have an account here, we can only give you so much out of this check, or you will have to deposit that check into your account in order for you to get all your money. So what happens to the commitments that I have to pay the people who have done work for me, that I need to get this money promptly? Those are the standards that they want us to take lying down.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Caller.
Good morning. The bank and them is a set of, well, let me not use that word, but they're doing the public a disservice. I have an account. I have an account in the bank that maybe it just went for
dormant.
Years, right? And it went dead. It went dormant. Them write me, I have no money in it. I'm doing no transactions with the account. The bank write me the other and tell me I have $75 for them. So I call the bank and ask them what this $75 is about. Service charge for having the account. You could imagine that. And comrade, it's not only if you go to any bank now, whether you have an account in the bank or you don't have an account in the bank, there's a fee to withdraw your own money.
Wow.
That is the obscene treatment that citizens of this country is experiencing, and we have to take it. We have to lie down and take it.
But you know, nobody in the citizenry ain't talking about that.
They ain't talking about that.
That is private, right? They ain't talking about that. But they're blazing the public service and calling we officers lazy and all kind of thing. Go ahead, caller.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. I just tuned into your program and I have a particular grouse with the banking industry. Mm-hmm. Right? And my particular peeve is I am in Bank X. I wouldn't call any particular
Call the bank. Call the bank. There are a bunch of...
You have to call them, man.
How you expect them to improve? The lady say...
Okay. I am in Scotia Bank, for example.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Because it happened with Scotia Bank, it happened with Republic Bank. I am in the two banks. Mm-hmm. And my home branch is in, let me say, St. James. But I am doing some work in San Fernando. And I want to get some money, and I run into San Fernando banks, whether to buy US or to whatnot. And they are telling me that I can't get any money there. I have to go to my home branch. You understand?
Yeah.
Me and them have to cross-check so many times because I keep telling them, when I joined Republic Bank or Scotia Bank, I didn't join Scotia Bank Tragweed Road.
Exactly.
I joined Scotiabank in Trinidad and Tobago. It happened to me sometime in Tobago too when I was doing some business in Tobago. They tell me I have to go back to my home branch in Trinidad to get some banking done.
Yeah, like Trinidad is a different country. Eh?
Yes, when I started to trip off on them.
Yes.
I started getting like a madman in the bank. The news manager run out now and then she want to assist me. I said, but when I joined the bank, I joined a bank of Trinidad and Tobago. I supposed to go in any bank and transact my business.
I tell you, they just want you to behave out of character.
You see, we the citizens, we are allowing these people to believe that they doing we a favor, but they're providing a service.
Correct.
You understand? And they're supposed to be serving we.
Right.
You understand? If they had no customers, it would have no organization.
Correct. I personally feel a lot of organizations in Trinidad after competition came out, they should have closed down. You understand? Because everybody should have boycotted them, such as TSTT. When you realize after the result came into Trinidad and they go how TSTT dropped the rates significantly.
Yes.
So they were exploiting us all the years when they were monopoly. Everybody should have boycotted the STT. This is not a has-been company in Trinidad.
And the service buck up, although it's not up to standard, the service buck up too.
The service is no buck up. Every call I make now, I have to hold on for at least 30 seconds for the line to settle down because the first 30 seconds is static.
Well, when I say it improved from when telco used to poops.
Oh, well, yeah. It improved a little bit.
Yes.
But so where we are now with fiber optic and all the technology, and I heard an interview the other day where the head of TSTT, some liars, so one of them people telling you, come home. After you exploit me for a million years and charge me $6 a minute to call the United States for all these years, and looking on reasonable roaming charges. You understand?
Yes, comrade.
Come home.
Comrade, thank you. We're running out of time here.
Call in earlier next time, eh? Call in earlier and help Trinidad and Tobago. All right?
Okay.
This country, our standards are degrading, and the pressure groups are sitting down with their fingers on their lips, or they have their fingers up somewhere else and not saying anything. And we are seeing the ordinary citizens suffering in silence. And when you stand up, people telling you, don't behave out of character. Take it without grease.
Dignity.
Take it quietly and allow the abuse to continue.
Forgetting how much people dead for the rights that they have now.
We will not be putting up with that. Trinidad and Tobago, the Public Services Association, will be putting up a resistance. We'll see you tomorrow at the same time. Have a good day. Thank you for listening.
I long to spend some time with the family, but staying home won't make it right. Sometimes the pressure make me feel like order, when every sign says no way out. Breaking my back to make an overtime dollar, that just goes from end